Ciao a tutti e benvenuti allo tavolo italiano. Today we'll be learning about the Italian subject pronouns and conjugating regular verbs ending in ARE in the present tense. First, it's always important to remember a few things. Number one, there are always exceptions to every rule, and the same is definitely true here. Now, getting started. What is a subject in a sentence? Simply put, subject is the person or thing that is doing or being whatever is happening in a sentence. For example, if a sentence says, "The dog barks," the dog is the subject as it is the one doing the barking. If you said, "He is nice," he is the subject because he is the one that is nice. What is a pronoun? A pronoun is a word we use to take the place of a noun, person, place, or thing. So instead of saying Bob swims often, you could say he swims often. He is then a pronoun for Bob. Another example would be instead of saying the book is on the table, we might say it is on the table. In this case, it is the pronoun for the book. Hence, a subject pronoun is simply a pronoun that represents the noun, person, or thing that is doing or being whatever is happening in a sentence. Now, let's look at these see what these subject pronouns are. Italian subject pronouns. Here we can see the English subject pronouns and their Italian counterparts. Subject pronouns are broken up in two different categories: singular to plural, and then by the person. So, for example, the first person singular in English is I. In Italian is io. Means the same thing. Second person singular in English, you. In Italian is tu. The third person singular in English is he or she or it. In Italian, it's lui, lei, or lei. The first person plural, which is we, is noi. The second person plural, which is you, is voi. And the third person plural, which is they, is loro. Now you'll notice by the Italian words that there were a couple things that said familiar use for you, formal use for you. Familiar use for you, and formal use for you. What that means is in Italian, if you meet someone for the first time, if they're a child, it's not a problem. You can go ahead and use this subject pronoun. If you were using the verb parlare, to speak, you would say tu parli. And if it was a crowd of children, you would say voi parlate. But if in wanting to use that verb, you were needing to address it towards an adult that you didn't know, or a superior, you would say lei parla. You would use the formal use for you. It's what you do out of respect. And when you meet a new adult or have a superior, you need to use this form until they give you permission to use the tu form. Conjugating a verb. What is conjugating a verb? To conjugate a verb simply means to put it, to convert its form from its infinitive form to the 6 different forms it can take for any one given tense. For example, in English, let's take a look at the verb to be. To be is the infinitive form. There are 6 forms it could take, which are to accommodate both the 6 persons represented by the subject pronouns. First, second, third persons, both singular and plural, as shown below in the present tense. So here we have the verb to be. First person singular, which is I. Second person singular, which is you. Third person singular, he, she, it, etc., etc. So we don't say I to be. Doesn't make any sense. We conjugate the verb so it becomes useful for that pronoun or that person. So we say I am, you are, he, she, or it is, we are, you are, they are. So to say I am, you are, he is, all of them you're using the verb to be. You're just using it in different forms because it's been conjugated. First conjugation. What is the first conjugation? The first conjugation in Italian is nothing more than a group of verbs that end with the letters ARE, such as cantare, pagare, or volare. There are three main groups of verbs in Italian, which are first conjugation, verbs ending with the letters ARE. Second conjugation, verbs ending in ERE. Third conjugation, verbs ending in IRE. All three conjugations can have their own rules as to how the verbs in the conjugations are handled in the various tenses. They all also have regular and irregular verbs, meaning those that follow a set pattern and those that don't. This lesson looks only at regular verbs in the first conjugation or ending in ARE. To illustrate how to conjugate an ARE verb, I like to use a math equation as an example. But first, here are the conjugated endings for ARE verbs. Io, o. Remember, these are just endings. So I'm going to read the subject pronoun and then the ending. Io, o. Tu, I. Lui, lei, ha. Noi, iamo. Voi, ate. Loro, hanno. To conjugate is to take your infinitive verb minus the infinitive ending, which leaves you with the verb stem, or equals verb stem, plus the conjugated ending, which we see here, equals your conjugated verb. Example, let's take parlare, to speak, minus are, the conjugated ending, equals par, plus iamo, the ending for we, equals parliamo, we speak. Parlare conjugated in the present tense comes out as follows. Io parlo, I speak. Tu parli, you speak. Lui, lei parla, he, she, it speaks. Noi parliamo, we speak. Voi parlate, y'all speak. Loro parlano, they speak. You're going to want to memorize these endings. O, I, a, iamo, ate, hanno. Because you're going to see these for other verbs as well. ARE verbs. Looking at another verb ending in ARE. Cantare, to sing. First person singular. Io. Canto, I sing. Remember, it's the cantare minus are plus o equals canto. Io canto, I sing. Tu canti, you sing. Lui, lei canta, he, she sings. Noi cantiamo, we sing. Voi cantate, you sing. Loro cantano, they sing. Grazie mille for joining us today at the Italian Table. And be sure to visit us at www.iltavoloitaliano.com. We actually have a lot to offer. Everything is free. So if you're interested in learning about some grammatical subject of the Italian language, or finding an Italian pen pal, or looking at an Italian recipe, or a multitude of other things, be sure to visit iltavoloitaliano.com. Adesso devo andare. Ciao e parlate l'italiano.